spider builds a web, Allah describes it's the most beautiful home. Surah Al-Ankabut, the 29th surah, because 29 is the secret of Lam Alif. So the secret of this entryway is based on that spider web. So spider web, very beautiful. It's amazing to see how the heck this guy did this without any architectural drawings. We can't build a walkway that's straight. How this spider does this with all our acumen and all our brains and all our access to ChatGTP. How the spider builds that and we can't build this one path straight. This is astonishing. Why? Because these creatures have a secret, and every creature God has given a secret, because Allah's not making anything as a joke. There's no entertainment and there's no jokes in the heavens. It means it wasn't for jest, it wasn't for entertaining people. Every creature has a secret from the Divine, and the men of God are to find that secret and understand its secret. Tariqas, because the spider guarded the cave for Sayyidina Muhammad, because that is the heart of Prophet, in which he took his beloved friend Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq into the heart. So those who want to enter the heart of Prophet, their life is like a spider web. That house they build is very dear to Allah. They don't need to go into the marketplace hunting for money, searching all day long how to do, how to because those people who do that are very distracted from their remembrance, from their practices. Oh, did you do that? Oh, I couldn't, I was too busy, I was too busy, whatever it is. You're like a bear then, you're not like the spider. They give you every excuse possible. So, okay, but that's a different group then. This group, they're like spiders. Their life is to make the web. They do their awrah, they do their zikrs, they do their beautiful deeds and actions, and everyone go back to themselves. And you make a beautiful web, and Allah sends you sustenance. When the web is strong, it catches everything. But if your web is deficient, oh, I didn't pray like that, I didn't do my zikr this day, I didn't do it. Okay, well your web got like a lot of holes. If it has a lot of holes, nothing is going to be caught. And you can see that sometimes they make a beautiful web, it's been damaged by the moth. If they don't repair it, it's not catching anything else, because everything now is flying right through it and going in another direction. So their life was build their web, build their web. Breaks, they go back and build their web, build their web, build their web. With all their good deeds, actions, awrads, prayers, everything. Then their web become like strong like silk, and it catches everything and defends them against everything, because the web was also a defense. When they looked in to come after Prophet, Allah gave the web a power to cast deception into the eyes of bad people. They looked and said, nobody can be behind there, there's a web here. So it has a power and authority, the good deeds and good actions. So it has many different realities. Everyone has to go back to find out that, are they doing all those, are they doing everything? If all those are in check and all of those are being done, their khidmat, their service, everything been done, their muraqabah is strong, their practices are strong, then take heed to everything in your life. Don't underestimate your enemy, especially when you're fierce in fighting shaitans. I was always astonished at these people who would stand at like a curb, on the edge of the curb, busy traffic, and they stand on the curb and they're brainless people and say, I trust in Allah. Say, you're brainless, because the first thing Allah told you was say, A'udhu Billah, was seek refuge in Allah from the accursed one. When you stand on the edge, likelihood of shaitan coming, pushing one man that he governs and he rules nicely to bump you, and you fell into traffic. Where was your aql? Where was your understanding? Where was all your practices? Means they govern their lives very vigilant, that you, your family, your children, don't put them in a position in which shaitan will knock them, hit them, burn them, cut them. He's waiting for you to be heedless, and you're coming back and saying, I trust in Allah. But that's ridiculous, that's not how this system works. Trust in Allah with your good practices and faith. Then Allah teaches you, be vigilant with shaitan, he's looking for an error in what you're doing. Don't leave your kids unattended, shaitan will steal them. Nothing. Means they have such a belief in yaqeen that they're under continuous battle with shaitans. But people have a different understanding, oh everything with Shaykh's barakah. What does that mean with Shaykh's barakah? Shaykh's barakah is if you're doing all your awrad, your practices, you have a yaqeen. If you had a yaqeen, what would you be seeing all around you? Shaitans, all around the outside of your house waiting. But if you saw them, you'd be vigilant, you'd be worried. As soon as somebody went out the door, or they covered, they have wudu, they have all these things, but you can't say anything because people don't have these beliefs. But no, real belief is very vigilant. Keeping their wudu, keeping their practices, looking at everyone, making sure they're safe, make sure their actions are correct, don't leave it, don't trust them alone. So this child got hurt, that child, why did you take your eyes off of them? Don't take your eyes off of them, don't put anything around them, make sure everything is secure and safe. It takes for you one moment to be heedless and shaitan to throw something into their mouth. That's your fault. Don't be heedless, and that's your training. So you say, even when we would walk, we would never walk in an area where I could be pushed or thrown into something, nor my child nor my family, because you know that he's, and Allah says, he's your avowed enemy. If you take your eye off of your enemy, most likely going to smack you in the head. So you always keep your eye on your enemy, wherever he's going, what he's doing. You don't take your eyes off and say, oh my shaykh is protecting me. What does that mean? You want his eyes to be watching your enemy, or your eyes have to watch your enemy? So just mixed up understandings. You think it's common sense, but it's not common sense. That when you're serious about your life, serious about the way, serious with yaqeen, then everything for you is very disciplined inshaAllah. And that you govern your life in the same way. Even we wouldn't walk on a path, we went with the kids when they were young on a mountain, and I said, the snow is on that side and this path is very narrow, I'm not walking there. He said, why are you not walking? I said, because shaitan will make that mountain to come down and push us off. And we stopped, and shaitan made the mountain to come down, and the snow took the trail off. So certainty is something different, and the men of God, they govern themselves something different. Mawlana Shaykh used to give talks when we were in training for blackouts and power outages and having all of our homes with the generators, and he would say that don't ever drive your car on empty. And because one person was always driving like with $5 of gas in the car, always off. He said, this is not belief, this is some ridiculous mentality that, oh the shaykh will make my barakah go and go. No, you're completely wrong in your belief. Rijal and the men of God, they know at any moment a disaster will come and I need gas to get to my children, to their schools, to my home, everything. We're not the people who run on empty, our cars are full. Knowing takbir come, the gas stations won't be open. They were the first to close when power went out. And one time in Michigan, it's 50 million homes went out. Mawlana kept testing and testing and testing. Everything, every gas station closed at like a 5 o'clock blackout. And you live in an area where the snow is so severe, if you go off the road, most likely you're dead. Because in about 3 hours no tow truck comes to you. You're in the snow, you have no gas in your car, you and your family will freeze to death. So we said, no, always had to have extra clothes, blankets, cars on full. Nobody's coming to help you in the middle of the snow on a highway, and the highways go for miles and there's no exit. So no, this world of faith is not that. When you trust in your shaykh means I'm listening to his teachings and making tafakkur. My character and my certainty should be a sign of all their teachings. My gas tank's full, house is stocked. Always a life of understanding that any calamity and difficulty could come at any moment, and am I ready for that? Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa bi sirri Surat al-Fatiha. Shabad ya Rasul Kareem.